Welcome to ES Legends and Lore, where we explore the world of Elysian Shadows. Lauren is a small town located along the southern edge of the Great Steep mountain range which divides southern and northern Asphodel. A mining town that once monopolized the market on Cresseta, a type of crystal with an unusually high melting point and rigidity. Lauren recently experienced a golden era of economic prosperity and world influence. Due to its abundance and light weight relative to metals mined in the north, Cresseta displaced the use of metals in many textile goods. During a period known as the Outsiders' War, many cities to the north of the steep mountain range were under increasingly frequent attacks from tribes which were tired of being forced to mine for metal under terribly dangerous conditions and for low wages by the richer, more powerful surrounding cities, which reaped the overwhelming majority of the economic benefits from the sale and trade of metallic goods and raw ore. Due to the slumping sales of metal relative to Cresseta, the vast majority of northern factories were forced to close their doors and lay off thousands of workers. Cities to the south saw this as an opportunity to recruit former metal miners and disgruntled tribesmen from the north into their vibrant economies. This shift in economic influence brought an end to the Outsiders' War and ushered in an era of prosperity for Lauren. As 90% of the world's known crystal deposits are within its swath of the steep mountain range, an area known as Heaven's Larder. Alas, its economic prosperity could not last forever. Recently, breakthroughs in cheaper, lighter materials at universities like Polytechnica have brought on a recession in the market for Cresseta, and thus halted the once burgeoning Lauren economy. Today, Lauren is a fading but proud town in the twilight of its golden age of economic prosperity. The game opens in the midst of a convention that's bringing together many world figures and visitors from across Asphodel. The Happy Diggers Convention serves as a stark contrast to the growing number of minor protests that find their way onto the Lauren streets. Lauren serves as a battleground of ideologies as a group of people called Diggers is growing in number, and whose discoveries often defy the doctrine and wishes of the church. Lauren is also where the player will meet Julian's lifelong friend Erin and her father Kendrick, who is the owner of the town museum and himself a digger. This very early encounter in Lauren Museum will give an opening glimpse at one of the game's major conflicts, and serve as the catalyst for engaging the game's reluctant hero, who, until this point, really saw no need to chase artifacts and other treasures that lie in wait in places like the Crystal Ruins. Laurenians are hardy mountain people who take great pride in being a shining example of how to properly run an economy and society. Fiercely patriotic and self-reliant, Laurenians believe in personal accountability, community, and a minimal government intervention. Signs of this keen patriotism can be found in its culture as there are myriad symbols, sigils, flags, and songs that keep Lauren citizens acutely aware of their history. Perhaps the most well-known of these patriotic symbols is the town folk song Dirt and Stone. Folk music will play a huge role in ES. We want to really drive home the identity of each of Asphodel's civilizations. Many towns will have their own musical style and, in fact, unique instruments that are made from materials indigenous to that region. As an example, let's take a listen to the husk flute. Partially percussive, but first and foremost a wind instrument, and very much a staple of Lauren ensembles. Crafted from rock ore found by settlers along the steep mountain range, and thick blancor roots from groves in Floy forest. Lauren's town folk song, Dirt and Stone, will also surface in many of the themes, both in the town and in its adjacent territories. Here's a quick preview of Dirt and Stone, as sung by the patrons of the dark Laurenian pub.
They drop their thoughts and rise the boys to make men from dirt and stone. Men of dirt and stone, we're made from dirt and stone. Hey! Drink one fast, this night won't last. Join your brother in his song. Trust your course, no remorse. It can be his and you'll be yours. But no man see a king's decree. A Lauren brothers, oh mine. Forward stand, rightful heir. Tune these minds of dirt and stone. Dirt and stone.
Lauren is geographically situated between mountains to its direct north and is abutted forests on its southern, eastern, and western borders, which are dense in flora, fauna, and fungi, giving the surrounding areas a higher degree of humidity than is found in typical dry, high desert mountain climates. These unique geographical features give Lauren hot, humid summers and make it impractical to harvest crops during 5 particularly harsh, wet, cold winter months. Since Lauren is the first area the player will encounter in ES, the team decided it wanted something cheerful. Very much in the vein of the opening to Chrono Trigger with its Millennial Fair theme, Elysian Shadows has a dark tone that deals with some very adult themes and motifs. So originally, Lauren was a reflection of this statement. However, a little over a year ago, the team pivoted and decided it would at least like to start the game on a positive note, hooking players of classical JRPGs with an all-too-familiar, warm hometown feel before taking the player down the dark, twisted path that is the ES storyline. It actually took our musician Jeremy 4 attempts, which is 4 different songs, until we found what is now the Lauren theme. When Jeremy first joined the team, he had the aforementioned dark Lauren motif in mind. While this tune really hit the nail on the head for the darker Lauren, it still hasn't found its home since being displaced. The darker Lauren theme is still a team favorite though, so we're confident we'll find a loving family for our little bundle of loathing and torment. Floy Forest, the largest of Lauren's surrounding wooded territories, is both beautiful and treacherous. Students from around the world come to Floy to study its unique zoological and geological features, but maintain a healthy respect for its perils. Many aggressive animals, such as borlings, enormous rats, and even living plants roam freely, creating somewhat of a protective barrier that has in ages past kept Lauren largely invader-free. The Crystal Ruins are a prize for the adventurer who dares travel its northeastmost reach, but perhaps an even more deadly one. When Jeremy sat down to compose the Floy Forest theme, he first consulted the team on what their favorite woodsy-sounding game themes were. Viridian Forest from Pokemon Red version, The Lost Woods from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, among others were mentioned. It was around the same time that Jeremy's wife suggested that they both watch Princess Mononoke to get Jeremy in the right state of mind to make the piece. After practicing The Legend of Ashitaka a number of times and thinking back to some of his favorite songs from Final Fantasy XI and XIV, Jeremy came up with the following song fairly quickly on a bus ride home from work a few days later. When the Floy map is finished, it will serve as a rite of passage or buffer area between Lorraine and the Crystal Ruins. The Crystal Ruins are the game's first of many sets of ruins. Most folks don't go to ruins like these, as they are crawling with monsters, perilous falls, and other dangers. Our aforementioned heroine, Erin, drags Julian along to the Crystal Ruins, but as things develop, Julian will have sufficient cause to get more involved as a digger. The Crystal Ruins are a dungeon. It is important that we make music which stands up to a high level of repetition while delivering an inherent catchiness that correctly frames the fighting and high-profile action that will take place here. Jeremy decided to write up a fusion of chiptunes and hip-hop to deliver the promise of these ruins. And finally, what dungeon would be complete without a boss to guard its deepest, darkest secrets? In the case of the Crystal Ruins, that boss is affectionately known as the Crystal Myth. While the nation was out partying on New Year's 2017, Jeremy was home, alone, having a ton of fun with progressive rock and trademark ES chiptune style. Jeremy threw in different time signatures, tempo, and key changes as a tribute to some of his favorite artists like Dream Theater, Vince DiCola, and Rainbow, and what he hopes will be remembered as an action RPG's first battle at a prog rock concert. As many of you know, ES is built atop a powerful engine capable of dynamic lighting, particle effects, and 3D physics. This final fight will tap into all of those things. Flashing strobe light effects from spells, bouts of light in complete darkness, and will be the turning point when Elysian Shadows begins its descent into darkness. The team really hopes to make this fight a clear sign that the game is covering some uncharted territory in both terms of tone and technicality. We hope you enjoyed this first intimate look into the ES lore. We hope to show you a lot more throughout 2017 and in future installments of Legends and Lore. Now back to your regularly scheduled AIGD programming.
Hey guys, really quick update from me. I don't really have anything exciting to show because now that we have Brandon going full steam ahead and developing in-game content, he constantly needs some little stuff from me. So different versions of crystals or some extra tiles here and there. So for the past 2 months, my time working on ES was fully into that sort of work, like the polish up stage, where we have actual level designer building the levels, and whatever content he needs I deliver. So there isn't really much to show. Like, you guys gonna see what I did through others video, like through others clips. You will see plenty of new art, and hey, like, I've been working. It's just that there is not like a lot to talk about it, because, well, it's more of the same. It's like, hey, I made like 3 different kinds of dirt tiles. Yay! Today has been really productive. So it's I'll be toning down on my appearances in AHD, but that doesn't mean I'm toning down the actual work. It's just that I don't have anything exciting to talk about. It's not now. It's the time for the grunt work of making more assets for the game. When I will have something interesting to talk about, I will totally do. Like, for example, this guy who's now on the screen, that's Catripelt. That's Lawrence coat of arms animal, so to speak. Um, little concept art to flourish out the lore that I done in like half an hour. But you know, that's it from me, really. Take care.
At all.
Brandon, what you working on?
I'm working on the Floy Forest.
Nice ear. I like your ear.
Thanks.
Yeah,
It's a pretty ear.
it's very nice.
I'm working on the Floy Forest to get it just nice and operational. God, you scared the crap out of me.
Camera coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, what you got?
So yeah, we just kind of got this. This is a level that Cole had worked on previously. I had to fix it because there was some problems with it. But today we're gonna try and complete the entirety, like all the maps that are necessary for the Floy Forest.
Nice,
So
nice.
This is the beginning. The beginning of the
Hell
end.
yeah. And that also means that I'm going to completely populate every single one of the NPCs in Lorne with dialogue. And that's what I'm doing over here.
You did a little bit good. Tiny,
What you
itty
what you
bit.
did bad, you also did good. And bad, bad, good, good. Now, so what we're talking about here as well is we have a kind of a super secret area that we can't really revealed to you. It's actually pretty cool. It kind of harkens back to some of the, like, oh, if I venture off the beaten path, there are some rewards. So don't be thinking that you just kind of follow the path and it's kind of 2D and there's no jumping involved and all that. Remember, this is a platformer as well. It's an action RPG, and you can cut things down and you can wander off the path and do some adventuring. And that's the kind of vibe we're going for with the ES, is to kind of rekindle that adventurer's spirit, right? And that's what makes our game a little different from Octomom Monolith, or whatever the hell the name of that game was from Square Enix that just got announced. And yes, we noticed they ripped off our aesthetic, and we're a little pointed about it. But we're going to make the better game, so in the end, it does not matter.
So we got like the very beginning parts of like a little level here to continue on from the Floy forest. We're gonna have some trees and shit. It's gonna be great. Sometimes you switch into a New York accent, but it happens.
Open up the ASTK toolkit, and this is what I got. I got a fucking demo level. What fucking kind of demo is this? The demo of what not to fucking do? What the fuck is this?
So we got a complete level here. It's got that's the main path area here that goes all the way up, and then we got some side paths that people can go down. And listening to some nice jams over here. And in the other room, we have Mr. Jeremy Likes busting out some trees, trying to
making some levels.
Yeah, we're making levels together with the power of teamwork.
Teamwork. That's what it's all about, folks.
Teamwork makes the dream work, man. DreamWorks Pictures. But yeah, that's what we're working on as of the moment. I'm working on getting. I just started a new level here. It's very minimal. Just got the basic path I want to accomplish here, and then yeah. So I'll check back in a little bit.
All right. What's that? So, told you about the missing person case? Yeah, the poor lady's name is Ladan Mustafa, and she went missing about 5 days ago. Powerful introvert and really no alibi to just walk off. We think it might be part of a serial kidnapping incident and is currently under investigation. Legally, I can't ask you to get involved, but if you want to ask around and relay any information you find, we would appreciate that. So folks, that is one of the first quests you're going to come up against in Elysian Shadows, and as we've been saying all along, we have some darker undertones in the game, and this would be sort of your first indication of that, right? We're dealing in crime, we're dealing with serial kidnapping here, and it's going to lead to a pretty interesting place. I can't wait to see everybody's reaction to this, so there's that.
Hey guys, here's a look at the now completed section that I had shown off earlier. It's just got a nice little path to it. And I even had, got the entrance to the Crystal Ruins all finished up. So it's a really small map. You can just goes up, and here's the ruins entrance. I'm hoping to get some kind of, something to make it, indicative that there are some ruins here, but it's kind of like this for now. But yeah, and now I am starting a new level and listening to Valley of the Fallen Star from Final Fantasy VII over there. Jeremy had to go teach Japanese lesson, but yeah, I'm still grinding away. It's around 7:30 in the PM, but yeah, I will about to start this side path. I'm thinking of doing some kind of platformery thing. Maybe like you have to jump a few times to get to a chest, and if you fall, you have to fight some enemies or something. Who knows? Anyway, see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so here's kind of what we ended up with. We got this path down here that goes and you have to jump across, and you have some enemies down there. You have some enemies around here. There's another path to jump across. Probably gonna put some chest or something, and another chest up there. It's got a little bit more to it there. Yeah, there you go. And yeah, so that's probably what we're rocking with there. We have another new area that we're starting, and this is going to be the last area I'm working on. But I'm just going to have some cliffs all up around here, down this path. I'm going to put a bunch of enemies in this and put some cliffs up here in this area. This is probably going to be a grinding spot. And Jeremy is now back. And let's see what he's been up to. What you been up to?
Laying down the area here for the one of the first quests you're gonna get in ES, kind of a darker quest, and this let's just say that this forest holds a lot of deep dark secrets.
Yes.
That you're
So
could be terrified to learn of. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we got just this area full of a bunch of brush right now that he's been working on. Just been trying to figure out the different tiles and how they connect together, because I mean this is Jeremy's first time actually using the tile.
I'm the musician,
sets.
damn it.
Yeah, he's the musician, so he's never done this. He's helping me out getting this done. We are almost done with Floy Forest. Almost, design-wise, not...
All hands on deck.
Yeah, exactly.
All hands on deck.
On what? Alright, here's our little map here. We have a starting area coming around, gonna get those enemies. We have little cliffs here for maybe additional enemies and maybe a chest or two or anything like that. Something to that effect. Anyway, that concludes the designing process for today.
Okay, so I am playing some chords now with the theme I've designed for Aaron. Let me back this thing up just a hair here. All that banging around going on over there. Alright, let me back this thing all the way up to where it was, like, prior to my intervention. So up here in this top track is where I'm performing the strings. Yeah, you can see how it's registering there in that track. So if I pop back on over here to the staff view, if you double click this guy here, in this little area up in here, it will open up a sort of like an edit view or a note view. And if you scroll over to the left, like so, you can kind of see as I scroll through here that the chords didn't, when I performed them, they didn't come out just right. Like maybe the pressure on one key wasn't quite right over this, specified period of time there. Or maybe I actually triggered a note that I didn't want. So in the event that that happens, what you can do is you can kind of come in here and just, I'm not going to do it because I've already fixed this, but you can grab it here and like stretch it out to the end of the phrase there. You can see I entered early here, I ended early here, ended early there, and let's see, let's scroll on over here to the left and to the right rather, and see what other kind of goodies we got over here. Yeah, so we've got, it looks like I picked up a wrong note got registered there, which I didn't intend for, and you can kind of play through this and just see how it sounds, kind of thing. You'll hear the wrong note when it gets to that point here in the staff. It's coming up here in a second. There's our line. Just follow it. Here comes the wrong note. Oh, you could barely hear it. Here comes the note. Yeah. So what I did was I went ahead and fixed this. So if I go ahead and control redo on all this stuff, you'll see that it gets all fixed up and awesome here. I pretty much stretched out the notes so that the phrasing was right and my entrances were all kosher and nice. I think I tailored that down and that one down as well. So now it's nice and even, right? It's got a nice good sound to it. And like I showed you guys in the last video, what you can do is if you tab over here, go like this, grab that little hoe right there, come down here, and let's say, I've got it looping right now, so let's just loop it through this little track here. And then if I wanted to change the sound that's being used, maybe I don't like string section, I'd rather have solo strings. It sounds like ass. But anyway, I'm just kind of showing you. Here's a hybrid bow. Okay, that is really loud. I could change to something else. Actually, it doesn't sound too bad with the big fusion synth. Anyway, that phrase is over, so that instrument's no longer being played. I did, however, like my strings, so I'm going to move it back. Anyway, that just gives you an idea. Once you perform the song here on the old keyboard, we're human beings. We don't get certain things right. And had they not been so egregious, I would have probably just went ahead and left those little mistakes in, because that's what gives it really that human side that really makes your music sound natural. So more to come later. So there are the two sort of main tracks, if you will. Here's our main instrument, our lead instrument. Well, I guess let's just say this is our lead instrument, but this is our lead-in instrument, right? This is the one that plays at the beginning of the Aaron piece. What we have there is just a series of like little melodies and sub-melodies and stuff like that. And up above that, I've went ahead and laid down this little like harmony, like the chords and stuff like that for strings. But I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of like what's going on here. So let's open that guy up. Let's play it from here. Well, shit, we'll just play it from the beginning. How's that? And I've got it muted up top so you won't hear. But what's going on here is that's starting out on an A. And I wish I could... Oops, I gotta arm it first. That's why you're not hearing anything. So over here I've not armed this track yet. Let me go ahead and do that. There's that guy. Let me tab back over here. And that's the part where I would like to actually drop in the chords, that little section right there, right? So this lead-in section is just kind of like a solo deal for that lead-in instrument. I'm going to show you here. So the root, or the tonic, as it's called in music, is this A, right? But we're in the key of, we're in the key of A minor or C natural, so... Anyway, I'm not going to actually play this just yet. So, you know, kind of keeping that in mind, we have to play our chord progressions such that they're harmonious with the rest of the notes, right? So you'll notice here, if I went ahead and clicked into this staff, got a view of my notes, you know, I've got my tonic, which is that A. Actually, that lead-in note is our A, and then it kind of just, each phrase ends on a different note, and you want to make sure that your chord sort of harmonizes with each phrase, right? And so your chords are a little slower, and you can see how they're, you know, less frequent, and there's fewer of them there than there are down here. And that's because the chords are sort of like your long legato, you know, back up to the melody, if you will. So if you go back in here and I were to perform this live, it would kind of be something to the effect of this. So let me do this. You'll see I'll start off on my tonic. I'll go ahead and hit the record button. I've dropped my cursor in where I'd like for it to start, so I don't have to start back at the beginning. But if I go ahead and record this, watch this. C. Nice. Back to A. Back to G. C. I hit a wrong note there at the end, but it's really hard to play with the camera in my hand. But anyways, you get sort of the idea there, right? Your chords has to kind of follow your melody, right, and back it up, right? So we kind of start off with this like nice little A, and we move down to a G, and we're gonna go back up to a C, and then back to an A, G, C, and then there towards the end, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and wipe out that second track that we made because we don't need it really. I just wanted to kind of show you that when you lay it down, you can just record over top of things and kind of give you the idea of how tracks work, right? So I'm going to go ahead and wipe it out. It's gone. I'm going to go ahead and bring this puppy back into the picture by clicking this little orange guy here. And then you can see how it actually turned out. And I showed you in a previous video how I had come in here and cleaned these chords up a little bit, right? Because the spacing wasn't quite right. Because when you're doing this kind of stuff, you know, you may not get it just right. You may accidentally kind of, especially on this keyboard, you might go off to the side and like make the note a little sharper than it's supposed to be, or hit a note that you didn't mean to hit. So you have to kind of hop in here and clean up a little bit after you're done. And that's what I did. And so it ended up kind of sounding like these. I'll go ahead and start it right in that neck of the woods, right? You can see the chords here, actually. Let me... zoom out so you can see. There's the line kind of following our music there. 4-beat measures, right? Just your standard 4/4. Here's our jump, lower, higher. All right. And another thing you want to do when you're doing your melodies, you got to keep in mind too, if we were to kind of take a look at the actual melody here, you'll notice that my notes don't jump around a ton. I think we've got what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 semitones is about the maximum that I jump there. You can see like that first note only jumps those 7 semitones, and then it stays kind of like in this tight little band here of sort of influence, right? You don't want to hop around too much, and that's kind of just a general rule of thumb with music theory. You don't want to hop around. It's harsh on the ear, and it's a little less believable that way. So just a little music theory for that ass. So here we are. I'm making the nighttime theme for Floy Forest. Floy Forest Daytime's been done for months now, and yes, we do have nighttime themes. As you guys saw in the demo, that's one of the big changes that we have coming for the game, and we just thought it'd be kind of nice to break up the monotony and kind of, just gives players something else to look forward to, right? Not just the sun going down and kind of changing the visual aesthetic, but also the oral aesthetic, if you will. So when you sit down and write a reprise of a theme that already exists, and I guess it's fair to say that the daytime themes are sort of the main themes, and the nighttime themes need to key off of those. A lot of people would think, and I actually thought too, before getting into writing soundtracks and stuff like that it was just a simple matter of retooling that song and making it sound slightly different and more nighttime-like, right? And that's not really how it works. It's almost like writing a new song, and that's how it should be treated, right? You're kind of going for a different mood. You're trying to elicit a different emotion. You're trying to set the stage for a completely different type of experience, right? And in the nighttime in ES in particular, we've got some really cool stuff planned that I can't wait to share with you guys. But it's actually just a really different environment altogether. It's almost like being in a new stage, and I'll let you kind of let your imagination take you down that road to figure out what that means. But it really is quite a different experience. So when I write these nighttime themes, I really got to kind of start from scratch. And so I think you'll hear in the video in the AIGD this month, you'll hear the Lauren nighttime theme. You will not hear the Floy nighttime theme because I've decided to redo it. There's just some things I didn't quite like about it. It was a good song, but I kind of got a little crazy on the chip tunes. I got a little heavy on the pedal there. So I decided to kind of back that up a little bit and take sort of a different approach to it. But this is what I have so far. And this is the nighttime theme here. And I'm kind of going for more of a, chill step. I swear, with electronic music, there's 1,000 genres now, but one of the newest ones is chill step, right? It wasn't enough to have dubstep and just electronic chill music and all that. We had to put a name on it, so now it's called chill step. But anyways, I don't have a beat in here yet, but it'll have a nice snazzy little electronic beat to it, but this is kind of what's going on here. And in trance music, I'm going to have to stop it. In trance music, that's kind of what goes on, right? You've got this sort of mysterious piano sound, kind of coupled with a pad, right? They're called pads in electronic music making, right? And it's just sort of this, almost like a lingering, sound, like an artifact that's left after striking the key, right? That's what these pads give us. And so you hear that a lot in electronic music, right? And that's what kind of, that sort of oral sort of decay sound that you hear, almost like it's being played in a giant, dome of some kind. That gives it sort of the otherworldly characteristic that's typical of trance music, right? It's called trance because it's supposed to transport you somewhere and then put you in sort of a trance state, right? And a big part of the trance music is that sort of oral, reverb-rich piano. So I'm going to let it get into the arpeggio section here. Just started to lay it down, so it's kind of bare. Okay, so I'll let you know that kind of repeats a little bit, and then it's gonna get into the drums here in about another measure or so.
And done. Oh, well, hey there, kids. Did you ever wonder how to make a level in the ESDK? Well, let me show you. Let's go. Hi there, guys. It's Brandon, the level designer slash PR guy slash media guy for Elysian Shadows. And today, I'm going to show you guys how to make a level in the ESDK. I have done this a few times on live streams where I've just kind of done freeform, just designed levels without any kind of guide. But we recently started using a design document for the Crystal Ruins. So we're going to use some of the parts of the levels that I made in those streams. But yeah, so you can see there's this overall little full dungeon map, like what goes where, what room is what, and so on and so forth. Then we have the more detailed, like, and you can see there's a little thing here to highlight, hey, this is where it is. And I mean, I don't think we have that further, but still, it's, you know, it's like explains the room, the puzzle, the goal. We have art assets we need from Patrick if there are any, and you know, just kind of a general idea of what we want to have in there, and then we go in and make it. But for this, I am just going to make just a plain old level. I'm probably not going to be implemented. This is just for an example into this little 30 by 30 sheet here. So you probably just saw me and Jeremy have our big day where we finished up Floy. This is Floy and Lauren share the same tile set, so they have, like, you can see there's like the houses, but there's also trees and dirt and all that stuff. So they are on the same level, and then we have areas within those levels. If that makes sense, you can see up here is all the levels we have, and then I kind of have a naming scheme, and then this is kind of, you know, an outdated naming scheme. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and make a level. Let's just start off. So what I do is I just set a base tile, you know, the one I think I'm going to use the most of, probably grass, because we're going to be in a grassy-ish area. And so here's a few things we're going to get in. So we're just going to go into a little bit of detail here. We have decorations right here. We have collision. If you turn on collision, it shows you, hey, there's Julian's collider, the inactive layers, and then we have elevation and plane, which are going to be the ones we were paying attention to. Elevation, if you click it, why isn't well, whatever, his collider isn't turning off, but you can see that there's no elevation currently, but if I hit plus, it turns to 1, you can go forever, all the way to 25. I don't know why you'd want to, we don't need that many levels, but let's just stick these on 1 for now. And then we have the plane, which, you know, you can't see any of that right now, but if we hit N, turns to F, which means front facing. So there's front, bottom, left, right, 45-degree angle left or right and front. No need to 45-degree bottom. I don't know why you would do that. But if we click play and go into perspective view, you can see that these tiles are actually facing forward. It is pretty sweet. Get out of perspective here, and then set these back to normal for now, because we really don't need them to be that way. I'll set these back to base layer. But let's go ahead and get like a dirt trail in here. You know, the trail we blaze, El Dorado. You know. So just get a little trail, dirt path in here, get that started. Let's do it like this, yeah, like that better. Yeah, El Dorado. I got El Dorado stuck in my head. Gosh dang it. Okay. So yeah, we got a little path. Actually, I think I want to get rid of a little bit of that because I want to make some elevation here. Let's do it like that. Perfect. Okay. So then we have our tile layers, which so we put all our stuff on tile layer 1. But if you want 2 tiles to occupy the same space, but don't want them to overwrite each other, you have these tile layers. So go ahead and grab this little guy, goes right there. Then we'll have something like that. That works, okay. And then we have this. There you go. So just gonna get this guy nice and filled out, and then I'll be right back. Another thing I forgot to mention here real quick, and if you have a tile, you can see I've flipped this tile. So you have this tile you don't wanna have, to optimize the way we lay down tiles, instead of having like 4 separate directions that Patrick has to pixel out, just click, you just click up or down and it flips the tile across the axis. And you can also spin it if you want. So, yeah, then there's that. Alright, so we got this nice and, pixel out. It looks a little bit phallic, weird, but anyway, just a little path there. And then let's say we want to lay down some make a little cliff, a cliff space. And then we'll make this little doodad, and then we'll have these guys, boop boop. And so we want them to actually face forward. I should turn the elevation off. Boop boop. Whoa. There you go. Boop, boop. Okay. Why isn't... Let me turn... There we go. Okay, I had to turn it on and off. Okay, so yeah, we want these to face forward. Save this real quick. And then we'll click play. Click play, and then go to perspective. And see they're facing up. I should probably do the same thing with the stairs. Actually, really... Yeah, I probably should put the stairs. Actually, no, I need them to be at a 45 degree angle. Never mind. Forget that for now. So then we're gonna have these little guys. Let's go wild, guys. Let's just go crazy and do some crazy stuff with these tiles, Just go hog wild with some tiles. That's the name of the game right there. But oh god, I forgot I'm in play mode. That'll do it. As to why I couldn't have control of my board. And then we'll put some good old-fashioned one of these guys. And just, you gotta make sure everything's nice and cohesive. Make sure it looks pretty. Whoops. Whoops. Yeah, okay. Maybe this guy. Boop. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, and then we got this wall right here. We're gonna want all these to face forward. So I'll click forward. Forward. And do forward. Oops, that didn't go. There we go. Boom. And they're all facing forward now. So now, when I save, should just click P. And yeah, look at all that. Looking real nice. Looking nice. Okay, sweet. Okay, so let's just finish off this path here. And then I should probably make those front facing. Boop. That'll help. Get some stuff in there to make sure it doesn't look too monotonous here. I don't need this to be front facing. I just need it to be bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're front. There we go. Something real simple. Just gets make it look nice. It's all about making it look pretty, you know? No. Oh, yes. Sometimes it gets a little fidgety if you don't click and drag it the way it, you know, when you're trying to do this kind of thing. Okay. Boop, boop. There you go. Whoops. I need to make that. And wait, no, that was fine, actually. But whatever. So, yeah, we'll just have it be like that. Let me just polish off these guys, and then we'll continue on. Alright, there's that. And so, let's say we want to add a tree. Trees are a little bit more difficult to tile out, just because you can see they're on these little different sections. But let's just put this on tile layer 3 for now, just for the heck of it. Let me put that up there, put that up there. You just gotta know what tiles to use in order to get the desired effect. So I want to do something like, I think it's this guy. Yeah. Then throw some little bushes on the end there. It's looking a little bit off. Just a wee bit. That's Jeremy messaging me on Skype. Hooray! Something, just one of these ones. Oh yes, it's this one. Whoops. Wait. No. And then that. Haha, there you go. Look at that. Look at that. We got a tree-ass tree. So if, you know, you just copy it and put a bunch of trees around, make it look, you know, it's halfway decent. Make sure they don't overlap, because if they overlap, then you have problems. But there's actually this repeating tile here is for trees. I just don't use it crazy often, because it can get really confusing. But I mean, I will learn in time, I'm sure. So yeah, we just have a bunch of trees here. All about those trees, though. You know, and then just to add some extra little bit of detail, so towards the areas that the trees are, I try and make the grass a little bit more overgrown. Oop, I should not put that on tile layer 3. Let's put that on tile layer 1. I try to make the grass a little bit more overgrown, just kind of fill it out over here, because you know people aren't going to usually be venturing into these parts too often, because there's a path right there, and usually people try to stick to the path. So okay, just make this look nice and dandy, nice and awesome feel. And so then, okay, let's get some all up in here. There you go. That looks like a nice pizza pie, if you ask me. All right. Then they have these like little tiny like in between guys. Let's try to put them like interspersed. Oh, I just smacked my mic. I just try and put them interspersed throughout. Try and make them, you know, and along the edges too. Just try and keep them along the edge, because that's usually where they'll be. It's, you know, it's getting thicker progressively. That's how growth works, guys. Did you know? Did you know gaming right here? That's me. Did you know that grass, you know, it grows? It's crazy, right? All right, let me get that tile right there. Yeah, okay. I kind of use this very sparingly, just kind of around, because we already have that like in between tile, and so these are kind of just like little accents. I don't know. I don't use them too often, but if you like that, it's just a path to nowhere. I'm getting sent YouTube videos, but yeah, it's just kind of a little path to nowheresville with a little cliff, and yeah, so that's pretty much how I go about designing a level. With, you know, I mean, you know, that's the fundamentals of how you design a level. You know, I usually use the design doc, but anyway, yeah, that's my little spiel. So I will see you guys later.
Over here.
Oh.
I'm in my fucking underwear, so don't be looking down there. I know you want it.
Hey, I'm tiling over here. Come on, let's Jesus Christ, can't get it right.